We're back then with a quick news update video for Marvel's Avengers, and this one is really crazy what we have that was revealed today. So the information came via DM, it was sent on to me via the Marvel's Avengers Countdown Twitter page. It's a page I actually followed already, and they actually have a lot of pretty good scoops on that page, so it is worthwhile checking them out, and I'll drop a link to their actual Twitter page in the description below. But it was in regards to a player called FM3, and I'll also put a link to their Twitter page, but they were playing the game on Twitch. They went to the Utah Badlands area, I believe, and then they had something called the AIM Secret Lab that actually showed up, which looks to be the raid. The developers did say before the game actually came out the first raid would be coming a few weeks after launch, and we're actually at a few weeks after launch at the moment, and we're due a patch, a pretty huge patch as well, either today or tomorrow. So could the raid actually be launching with this patch? I don't think it's too much of a jump to assume it very much looks like that could be the case. But there was some gameplay. I'm not going to show that off, but I'll link the Twitch page if you want to watch the gameplay. But I've got some screenshots of it, what we can see in regards to the power level and potential puzzles that will be in the raid. So let's jump in and check these out. So this is one of the screenshots we've got here. Apologies for the quality of it. I'm not sure what model of potato this picture was taken on, but you can see it's the AIM cloning lab. It states under it for the actual mission type, just cloning lab. Multiplayer mission. Now the power in it, I believe from what the person on Twitch said, is you couldn't choose it at challenge difficulty 1, so you can't do it on easy. You must do it on normal upwards, but the power is 155. I'm pretty certain that when you go into stages that you have to be within 15 power of the actual stage to go in and do it, which would mean that your character would need to be at 140, which is not too bad to get to be honest. If you're focusing on one character, it should be pretty easy enough. If you're like me and you're focusing on 6, it might take a bit of time to get 6 up to 140, but getting 1 to 140 shouldn't be too bad at all. We then have this screenshot from the level they took there. You can see the cloning lab in the background there, quite how it's a secret cloning lab with the size of it. I'm not sure, but it looks great, and I'm 99% certain. I'm not actually got the ability to check it at the moment, but when they've done the MODOK reveal, I'm really certain they actually showed an image of this in the background. If you've got the ability to check, let me know, but I'm fairly certain we've already seen this in previous videos. With this screenshot here, we can see what appears to be the main focal point of this part of the raid, at least, where there is some kind of puzzle going on, and it's all to do with actually disabling whatever that electrical field is there. Also in the footage, you see that it is just aimbots they are fighting, so at the moment for this raid at least there's not any new enemies as far as we can actually see from the footage, but we know from data mines that looks very certain that there will be a Wakandan raid in time as well, and that without a doubt I would say would have new enemies to actually go up against. But we've got one more screenshot to show off here. So we can see a bit more information on potential puzzles that will go on in the raid. So with this screenshot you can see that there's 3 different switches to be pressed, A, B and C. Currently it looks like Black Widow is on B, and it's telling you access security terminals to configure scanners. So it looks like obviously you've got 4 players in the game. You have 3 that need to stand in the switches, and then you get a 4th. I'm not quite sure what they'll be doing. Maybe they'll be taking down enemies to give the other players time to actually coordinate and stand on the switches. But if you're having to do that, I'm fairly certain you're going to have to go in mic'd up to do these raids. I'm not quite sure how they'll work with just random matchmaking. So that's all the information we got there. Now, one more thing that is a bit of speculation here, but it was something in data mine, and if you don't want to be potentially spoiled, this may or may not happen. I'll put a time stamp on screen to jump forward. But when I had access to the data mine before the game actually came out, this was a data mine that had information on Black Panther's abilities and so on, and a lot of stuff that since came true, like Kate Bishop actually shown up in it. But with that data mine, it listed out the bosses, so it did have your Abomination and Taskmaster, it had MODOK, it had Monica, who's Scientist Supreme. It also made mention of a super adaptoid boss, and it had various different phases to that boss and different moves they actually done. So I would reckon that potentially we could be getting a new raid boss, we could be getting the super adaptoid to actually go up against. But let me know what you think of all this in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon.